All right, y'all, we made it. After the frizziness, the shrinkage, the antennas sticking everywhere, we're finally in the mature stage of our lock journey. This is the stage that all of us dream of since we started our journey, when your locks are full, strong, and finally put together. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Rochelle, and this space is all about locks, natural hair, and self-growth. Here's the thing. Just because your locks are mature does not mean the work stopped. If anything, this is where you truly have to lock in, okay? You still have to care for them to keep them healthy, strong, and looking good. I know y'all see me. So in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly how to care for your locks, share how my experience has been going so far, how I maintain my locks, and of course, always come back to my channel because we'll be styling them, of course. So how do you know when your locks are fully mature? How do you know when your locks are in the mature stage? Well, let me give you some signs. First, the firmness, all right? Your locks are going to feel solid from root to tip. There's no looseness, there's no puffiness. And like, if we're going to use one of my locks as an example, right? Do you see it right here? Like when I press down on it, it is firm. There's no looseness, there's no extra puff. I can tell that that lock is mature. The next thing you're gonna notice is less frizziness. Yeah! This is when your locks appear more smoother, cleaner, and I know this is what you've been waiting on because we all dislike the extra frizz. If I'm being honest with you, during the mature stage, I don't experience that much frizz, if any frizz at all. Next is the weight of your locks, right? So your locks are actually going to start feeling a little bit heavier, more condensed, right? And when I say heaviness, I'm not talking about like, whoa, like, I can barely keep my head up because my head is too heavy. Not that kind of heaviness. Just in terms of your hair density, it's definitely gonna feel more condensed, right? Then length retention. The shrinkage is finally over, and this was my favorite part, everybody's favorite part, because now you can actually see the growth. The more your hair grow, the more you see it. You see me. Y'all remember when I was up here? Y'all remember when I was up here? You can see it. For me, I noticed my locks moving into the mature phase after year one. This is when I would say around my 13, 14 month, I started to have less frizz. And this is when I noticed that the real firmness and thickness of my lock. And if I'm being honest with you, my locks was way more thicker then than they are now, and that's probably because of me and how I manipulate it and stuff. But you really start to see the difference from month one once you start to me now in year three. Like the matureness just keeps maturing and maturing. Now my locks, they're different. Like they're so different from the initial maturity to now that they're fully mature. Now that we know how our locks start to feel and look when it starts to get into the mature phase, how do we maintain it? Okay, because just because your locks are mature does not mean we just forget about them and don't maintenance them anymore. Like maintenance is still very important. When it comes to washing, you can now start to wash your locks a little bit more often now if you want to. Your locks won't unravel. But me personally, I still stick to my usual routine. If I'm being honest, since my locks has been fully mature, I have washed my hair way less. And that's because of just me. Last time I washed my hair was like August. Maybe that's not long ago. But before August, I think the last time I washed my hair was in April. So you know what I'm saying? You really can either wash it as much as you want or as less if you want to, but you definitely want to stick with shampoos that leave less residue. And of course, you want to use clarifying shampoos to keep them clean. Of course, I'll leave Amazon links down below so you can check out my storefront, okay? When it comes to moisturizing, your mature locks still needs moisture, y'all. Like, I keep it very simple, and I'll leave my link up here to make sure that you can still use at the start of your journey, in the middle, and through on, okay? Aloe vera juice water is not going to serve you wrong, I promise you, okay? And you also want to apply oils when they feel dry. As I said, just because it's mature does not mean that it stops. When it comes to retwisting with mature locks, you might notice that you may not need to be retwisting your hair as often as you did before. The roots start to hold better. I typically retwist my hair every 2 months, sometimes every 4 weeks. It really depends on what I have going on during that time period. Like the last time I retwist my hair was August, and you know, it's September. Unless I really want to make content or something, that's when I really do my hair, and it really depends on what I'm doing. But you really don't have to do them as often as before, okay? And maintenance, as I said, this is a good time for you to be checking for thinning locks, weak spots, or buildup. I know I have a lock right here that is thin at the root, so when it comes to retwisting that bad boy, I keep an eye out on her because I don't want to affect her. So you want to be keeping up with your hair. Mature locks does not mean invincibility. You still have to watch out for them and make sure that you're not doing anything that's causing it to thin even more. Like, I promise y'all, like, you know, it's very important that you're maintaining and you're paying attention to what's going on with your hair. Scalp care is very, very important. As I said, I pay attention a lot more to what I'm doing with my hair, and especially when it comes to maintaining a clean and healthy locks. And as I said, the reason for that is because now is where, like, if I want to make sure that I can have these locks 20, 30, 40 years down the line and be like, okay, you know, it's all set, I have to make sure that I'm keeping routines that are not damaging my hair. Now the fun part, okay? Now that your hair is fully mature, you can do so much more styles without worrying about them unraveling, okay? We have updos, buns, ponytails. All these look so good with fuller locks. Curl sets are my favorite. My braid out, y'all, looks so much better now than when I first did a braid out 6 months in my journey. Or of course, twist outs. We have versatility. Wigs, you can still do wigs. Like, you have so much option. You can experiment with colors, right? So if you were thinking about dyeing your hair before and you were like, I'm gonna wait till it's mature, you can dye it now if you want. And since your locks are stronger and can hold the dye, of course it's still gonna cause some type of damage, but this is the time for those of you who are like, okay, I want to dye it. This is when you can. Me personally, I'm gonna do what I want to do with my hair. So I was dyeing my hair from the 6 months mark at the end of the day. And for me, as I said, I was so excited because during the beginning of my lock journey, I wasn't styling my hair as much, and that was because I simply didn't know what to do, and I just felt like certain styles, I didn't like how they looked on me. So as soon as my hair got longer, my hair got fuller, I do every single style, and I'm absolutely loving the journey, okay? And if you guys want me to try any styles or do any style tutorials because you're like, Shell, please help, drop it in the comment. I drop styles daily on my page, in shorts, TikTok, Instagram. I drop daily no retwist styles that you can try, and I make them as easy as possible because I have to do it myself. I can't be doing nothing that's too difficult because I'm gonna be struggling too. So you know what I'm saying? So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so you can always see when new styles are being dropped. Now that we know mature locks, right? When I hear mature, and of course the versatility of looks we can do, I'm gonna end it out by going over some do's and don'ts, right? So the first thing you want to do when it comes to your mature locks is making sure that you are still keeping up with your wash and moisture routine. Just because your locks is mature does not mean that everything go out the door. All right, of course the routine might look a little bit different now because you have a better understanding of how to do your hair, but you still have to keep up with it. Experiment with different styles, but make sure you're still protecting your hair. You don't want to be doing, you know, too much retwist and stuff that can thin out your locks. But to experiment. Now is the time to have fun. Like, look at this style, okay? Embrace the weight and fullness. It's a sign of growth, okay? My locks, I don't have that many lock strands, so my locks aren't as heavy as everyone else's. But when I tell y'all, I can tell that my locks are heavier now. Like, updos I can't even wear as long anymore because I'm so tender-headed now, but I embrace it because I'm like, wow, I remember when I wanted to do ponytails and I couldn't do them. Now look at me. I'm telling you, embrace it. It is a sign of growth, and not only the growth within yourself that you'll notice, but the growth overall is just so beautiful. And what do we not want to do? We do not want to ignore our scalp, right? Our hair still matters. Like, your scalp care is still just as important as before. You don't want to overstyle your hair, as I said, to the point of thinning, right? Not only overstyling, but also over retwisting, and now your hair is thinning out, and now you're trying to figure out what's going on. So you definitely want to ensure that you're not overstyling to the point of thinning. Of course, have fun with your hair, but know when to take breaks, as I said. Right now, I'm on a no retwist break because one of my locks back here, I could feel like literally her, like, oh my gosh, you guys see her? I don't know if you can see her. Look how thin she is right there. So I'm not retwisting or doing nothing right now, okay? And don't forget that even mature locks need love and just as much care as your locks before. And now you're in a whole different start of your journey. This is the time period where you're really locked in, and everything that you've been doing before, as I told you, this is the time period where you wanted to have a better mindset, a better mental health, right? Journaling, you know, gratitude journals, going on more self-dates, just having more patience with yourself, confidence, giving yourself love and grace. All of those routines are instilled in you, and now you're just continuing on this beautiful journey and embracing exactly who you were meant to be. And having your locks is probably going to transition you into a whole new being that you probably never would have imagined yourself to be. And even if you do lock extensions, as I told y'all, lock extensions, they still have to grow at some point. So you're still on that journey with us, period. So that is the mature stage of your lock journey. And honestly, y'all, it's just been such a rewarding stage for me because I finally was able to see, and not only me, you will finally be able to see the vision you had when you first started your locks. And it's like, wow, it's coming true. But it also comes with responsibility, as I said. You still got to maintain your locks if you want them to last for years. This isn't just gonna be okay, now they're mature, that's it, Pookie, like, we done, we don't have to do nothing else. Yes, you still have to do things, you still have to keep it going, baby love, you still have to keep it going. Now in our next videos, I'm thinking about breaking down different styles for every stage of your lock journey. I'm talking from the starter to the teenage to the mature, okay? That way, no matter where you are in your lock journey, you'll have some go-to styles to rock, so you don't want to miss that. So make sure, okay, you like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Let me know how the mature stage of your lock journey is going. Maybe I can help you somewhere along the lines, and you can help me somewhere along the line. And until next time, love your locks, love yourself, stay patient, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video.